Hello everyone and welcome to Bridge is for Everyone. My name is Jad. This is episode 2 of the Learn to Play series. In this episode I'll look at the first bid. This episode is essential as it lays the foundation for much of the series to follow. This is the hand you were dealt in the previous episode. In that episode I told you it was a good hand. Let's look at how you can judge that for yourself. Basically, you will be giving the hand a score called a point count. Initially, there are 2 ways you will assign points to the hand. First, as is obvious, hands with higher cards should score more points. You do this by assigning points for aces, kings, queens, and jacks. 4 points for an ace, 3 for a king, 2 for a queen, and 1 for a jack. These points are called high card points, abbreviated as HCP. This hand has 4 cards which have high card points, 2 aces and 2 kings. So our high card points are 4 plus 4 plus 3 plus 3, which is 14 high card points. The second way in which a hand can be valuable is if it has long suits. Even low cards in a long suit can win a trick when the opposition has no cards left in that suit. Any suit with 5 or more cards is considered a long suit. This hand has 1 long suit, hearts. Long suits are given points which are, unsurprisingly, called long points. You should count 1 long point for every card with more than 4 in each suit. So this hand scores 1 long point, or LP, for the 5th card in the heart suit. You get the total point count for the hand by adding the high card points and long points together. This hand is valued at 14 high card points plus 1 long point, which is 15 points. An average hand will be worth about 10 points. So this hand is well above average. This is the calculation I made in the last episode when I told you it was a good hand. Now you need to decide if you will bid with this hand, and if so, what you will bid. During the bidding, the first player who does not pass is said to open the bidding. You did this in the previous episode when you dealt and then bid 1 heart. Your 1 heart bid was the opening bid. There are many bidding systems in bridge. The system I am teaching you is a modern version of the system known as Standard or Standard American. In this system, if the bidding is not yet open and you have 13 or more points, you will bid. Every time you bid, you're telling your partner something about your hand. When you bid 1 heart, you told your partner that you had at least 13 points. Your partner will use this information to make decisions. If you bid 1 heart with only 6 points, partner will almost certainly make a bad decision. Try not to lie to your partner when you bid. When you played this hand, hearts was the trump suit. In the same way, you could have made any suit the trump suit. But there is another option. You can choose to bid and play a hand without a trump suit. This is simply called no trump and is abbreviated NT. In a no trump contract, every trick is won by the highest card of the suit led. So how do you know when to bid a suit and when to bid no trump? In order to answer this question, you need to identify the shape of the hand. There are three basic shapes a hand can have: balanced, unbalanced, and those in between called semi-balanced. A balanced hand has at least 2 cards in every suit, and at most one suit with only 2 cards. This hand has at least 2 cards in every suit, and the only suit with 2 cards is spades, so it is balanced. An unbalanced hand has at least one suit with less than 2 cards. It will have a suit with 1 card, known as a singleton, or 0 cards, known as a void. This hand has only 1 club, the king, and so it is unbalanced. This hand has at least 2 cards in each suit. That rules out unbalanced. But it has 2 suits with only 2 cards, which rules out balanced. So it is semi-balanced. Balanced hands are often suitable for playing no trump. You will be opening the bidding with a no trump bid with some balanced hands. Opening with a no trump bid shows a very specific range of high card points. When you consider opening with a no trump bid, do not include long points. Here are the exact rules. With a balanced hand, open 1 no trump with 15 to 17 high card points, 2 no trump with 20 to 21 high card points, and 3 no trump if you're lucky enough to have 25 to 27 high card points. When thinking about an opening bid, this is the first rule you should consider. This is the hand you played in the previous episode. As you saw earlier, this is a balanced hand with 15 points. So why didn't you open 1 no trump? The answer, of course, is because it does not have 15 to 17 high card points. It only has 14 high card points. You added 1 long point to get to 15 points. But long points are not used when making an opening no trump bid. So you've ruled out opening 1 no trump. But why did you bid 1 heart? First, let's ask why you bid 1 instead of 2 or even 3. This is quite straightforward. Any suit bid of 1 shows a maximum of 21 points. So your 1 heart bid told partner that you had between 13 and 21 points. This is a wide range, and you'll see later how it will be narrowed. Now you know why you didn't bid no trump, and you know why you did bid 1 of a suit, but why did you bid hearts? Here is the rule telling you which suit to open. With 1 and only 1 long suit, open that suit. With this hand you have only 1 long suit, hearts, so open 1 heart. But what do you do with 2 long suits? Here is the rule. If they are different lengths, open the longest suit. In this example, you have 6 clubs and 5 hearts, so you open 1 club. But what do you do with 2 long suits of equal length? Before I can answer that question, I need to tell you something about bridge suits. Not all bridge suits are equal. there is a ranking to them which is only used during the bidding. Clubs is at the bottom, then diamonds, hearts, and spades. And above all the suits is no trump. Every bridge contract includes a suit or no trump. The word used for suit or no trump is strain. Just as with any auction, when you bid, you must bid higher than the current bid. This means you must bid a higher number or the same number and a higher strain. So, if the opposition has bid one club, you can bid one of any other suit. But if they bid one spade, you can bid one no trump, but you must bid two of any other suit. Now back to the question. With two equal long suits, which one do you bid? The answer is bid the higher ranking suit. In this example, you have 5 hearts and 5 clubs, so you open one heart. There is still one type of hand you've not considered. What do you bid with no long suits? Here is the rule. If you have 4 diamonds, then you open one diamond. If you don't, you open one club. In this example, you have 4 diamonds, so you open one diamond. But in this example, you do not have 4 diamonds, so you open one club. This is a very common but odd-looking bid. After all, you only have 2 clubs. Importantly, your partner will know that this is possible when you make this bid. Now let me change the hand very slightly. If I switch the 8 of diamonds for the Jack of diamonds, this is the hand you get. This hand is a little better than the previous one. Let's work out its point score. With 1 extra high card point for the Jack, this hand is slightly stronger. So what should be your opening bid? You have a balanced hand with 15 high card points, so open one no trump. Remember, opening no trump is always your first choice when you have a hand that meets the criteria. It does not matter that you have 5 hearts. Open one no trump anyway. This episode has covered many of the basics of bridge and focused on how to value your hand when opening the bidding and what is required to open one of any strain. Future episodes will cover everything else you will need to be confident and successful when playing bridge. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to this channel. Until next time, this is Jad reminding you that bridge is for everyone.